Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Gift Genius TV. My name is Mr. Phil. I'm your host, and this is part two to my story and why Gift Genius TV, and a bit of background to where I've come from. Like I said, this is part two. So if you've not listened to part one, I will suggest that you look through the list and get part one, and so that you can get the preview or the pre-story to where I'm going to start from now. So I ended part one by talking about coming to the UK, and I was at a point then when I already knew that I didn't really like this idea of jobbing for the rest of my life. And honestly, at the back of my mind, I was thinking, man, I need to start a company for myself. I need to, honestly, when everyone was looking and I had so many people around me looking to go and get a job, I was never really excited about that. I really, call me weird. I just wasn't. Anyway, one day I got a phone call just out of the blue. And this phone call was my cousin. And he said to me, Kumi, I've got a guy here and he wants to have a word with you. And I said, really? So telephone switched hands. It wasn't a mobile phone then, it was a landline then. There was no mobile phone on earth then. Can you imagine? Anyway, so this voice came on the phone and said, hello, Phil. My name is Simon. I'm a friend of your cousin. I just showed your friend. I just showed your cousin a very exciting business, and your friend was really impressed. And I asked I keep saying friend, cousin. He said your cousin was very impressed. And I asked your cousin, does he know any 2 or 3 smart people in the area? And he mentioned that you're a smart person. And so that's why I'm calling you to show you the same program that I showed your friend. So if you're smart, would you like to see the program? And I'm like, yeah, I'm smart. Of course I'd like to see the program. What do you mean? I'm smart, innit? So he said, okay, what we'll do, I'm going to be here next Monday at 5 p.m. So come over and I'll show you the program. And I was like, okay, 5 p.m. I'm free. Okay, I'll be there. And that was my introduction to Simon then. Anyway, that weekend I was all thinking, because it was like Friday. So I couldn't wait till Monday. What is this opportunity? What is this business? I could remember, oh my goodness, I made sure I had my best jeans washed and, because I'm going to go and see the business, innit? So I got my nice shirt, ironed it, I couldn't wait till 5. I'm like, my goodness, I've got to make sure I get there on time. I remember that time, I will never forget. I had my charcoal and white LA gear. Those were my best trainers then. LA gear, charcoal and white, that I spent my money on. Those were the shoes. I made sure that they were all pristine. That day came, I put on my LA gear, I put on my jeans, tucked in my shirt. I'm gonna go and see business, innit? Oh my goodness. Anyway, I got there on time. I got there early. Even before the guy got there, I was right, let's. And 5 o'clock came, this white guy came into the room, looking very confident, walked up straight to me and said, hey, hello, Philip. My name is Simon. Shook my hand and said, I'm here to show you an amazing business opportunity. I'm like, yeah. I was like, okay. So he said, just tell me a bit about yourself. And I was like thinking, this is interesting. So I told him a bit of myself. Then the next thing he asked me is this. He said, Philip. I said, wow. He said, if money was no object, what kind of lifestyle would you be living right now? And honestly, guys, nobody has ever asked me that question in my life. I said, well, no, he said, seriously, if you had all the money that you want in life right now, how would your lifestyle be? I was stunned. Honestly, I was stunned because nobody ever asked me. Before then, everybody always asked me what they want from me, what the government wanted, what my dad wanted, what my mom wanted, what the church wanted. But nobody ever asked me what I wanted. So I was like, really? Am I allowed to? Is it legal for me to tell you what I really, really, really want? Anyway, for the first time, we started talking about the kind of car I want, the kind of lifestyle I wanted, the kind of property that will be, of course you have to have the swimming pool. Of course you have to have you have to have your own, what's it called? Your own, where you mix music and, your own, yeah. Of course you have to have your own studio. You have to have your own cinema room. It's different in the house. You have to, of course, it has to be more than 3 bedrooms, and all of them have to be en suite, And of course, it has to be in a place where the sun was always, high at noon. So it can't be in the UK now, So I'm saying, of course, it's got to be. And I started dreaming for the first time, And honestly, that afternoon changed my life, because once I started dreaming, I couldn't stop. Little did I actually know that what was happening to me then is what happens to every human being. That once your mind has expanded, it can never shrink back to where it was before. The moment your mind expands, that's it. It can't shrink back, So the long and short of it was that the greatest thing I got from that meeting that day, it turned out that it was Amway, multi-level marketing. But what I gained that day was a friend through Simon, was a mentor. Through Simon, I started going to meetings that were talking about business, talking about marketing. I was so green. That means that I knew nothing. Waiting, nothing. I knew nothing. But guess what I was willing to do though? I was willing to learn. I was like a sponge. When they say there's a meeting here, I'm there. When they say there's a meeting there, I'm there. When they say there's a meeting, I remember the first meeting that I went and everyone was wearing a suit. I actually didn't have a suit. So I had to basically just put a tie on my leather jacket, what I'm saying, with my jeans. I went to these meetings like that, And after a while going to those meetings, I finally got my own suit. I looked the part, it just give you an example of where I came from and where I started from. I used to go to these meetings, outside London, sometimes in St. Albans, sometimes in Ipswich, sometimes in Reading, sometimes even as far as Leeds, Manchester, Bolton, all those places. And the key though was that at first I was using public transport, using the train to get to these meetings. And little did I know, as I was going to these meetings, what was happening to me was that just the journey of actually taking yourself out of London and going to these meetings were changing me. I was becoming more responsible. I was becoming more aware. I was becoming more was equipped to do things, to arrive at places and to be more responsible, to be able to take care of myself, go to Liverpool, go to Manchester, be confident in going to new places, meeting new people, getting new experience. It became normal to me, Another thing that we were introduced to in the Amway business then was books, reading books, started with, I believe my first one was The Magic of Thinking Big. And then, got introduced to hundreds, it feels like thousands of books that I've read from then. There was a time I used to read a book a month, for many, many, many years. I used to listen to tapes, and what this does is that without you knowing, once you're on a diet of those kind of personal development, which I will encourage everybody listening to me right now to be a part of, be a part of a diet of personal development. What it does to you is that you grow from inside. You become better versions, and I'm saying better versions of yourself, because I've since then grown and grown and grown and grown, and even till now I'm still growing. So the version of me that you see today is not the version of me that you will see in a year's time. And the reason is this: I can guarantee you one thing: I'm going to be better than I am today. And the reason is simply this: because between now and a year from now, I am definitely gonna continue to commit to my diet of reading and listening and searching for information and imbibing information and growing. Growth is where the power is, Now, so I'm just telling you that I've been in organizations. Amway was the biggest one that really was like the university to me, in the sense that they introduced me to so much information. I really actually didn't make a lot of money with no, I'll not say a lot of money. I didn't make money with Amway. I didn't make a penny. If I look at how much money that I invested in the program and how much money I made in the program, I didn't make money from Amway. But guess what I made that was far more important and far more valuable than money? What I gained was experience. What I gained was skill. What I gained was exposure. What I gained was awareness. So much so that even though I didn't make money from Amway, many years later, I ran into another business called City Solutions. And that is where I actually made money. I, won awards, won trips, flew to Hawaii with this company. Now, this company, when I got into City Solutions, I looked like I was a superstar, because I just got into the program and I started just hitting their records and performing more than everybody else. And everybody thought that maybe that's how I was born. Maybe I was just dropped on this earth like that. And what they didn't know was that everything I was applying to be a success in City Solutions, I learned all of it through Amway. And it wasn't like I was in the Amway for 1 week. No, I was in Amway from 1992 to 2003 ish. So we're talking about a period of over 11 years of grounding and training and listening and reading and growing. Man, those 11 years were so refining and so empowering that when I got into another vehicle, I just took off like a rocket. They couldn't believe, so sometimes when you see people able to do things, when you see people just hit the floor and they're running, don't think, the mistake most people think is that those people are just lucky or they're special or they're whatever. But what you will find 100% of the time with such people is this: there's usually a backstory. There's a reason why they're succeeding. There's a reason why they're able to do what they're able to do. And it's usually in their past, maybe in their uncle or their father or somebody somewhere in their journey that has equipped them to be able to do what they're doing. So I've been in a situation where, I'm in a business and this superstar just comes from nowhere and starts wiping the floor with everybody, making everybody look like fools. Now I understand that person coming like that is, if you look in their past, there's been a time when they have put in the work to be able to do what they're doing now. So that's why I'm encouraging people, keep listening to these audios, because that is what they're designed to do. The Gift Genius audio. So go ahead, if you're listening to this on YouTube, go ahead and click the like button, subscribe to this channel, send other people to this channel so that they can get the information that you're getting. The aim of this is so that we all grow together and we all succeed together. I'll speak to you in part 3. I'm going to make part 3. Okay, speak to you then.